Hey everyone, hope you're all having a lovely day today. Today I wanted to make a video for anyone who might be going through a trial or a tribulation. So one thing that I feel is crucial to remember if we're ever going through a trial or a tribulation, it's that there is a reason for us to be going through said trial or tribulation. In James it says to consider it joy when we encounter anything of the sort, because when trials and tribulations happen, I'm so sorry. I hear myself saying those words over and over and over again, and I know it's probably really annoying. But whenever we're going through anything like that, to consider it joy, because going through anything like that produces steadfastness, it produces endurance, and it strengthens our faith. Now, obviously, in the moment that it's happening, it is not always super easy to have that mentality. As we've discussed many times on this channel, suffering is just kind of a part of life because we do live in a fallen world, and accepting that can make it a little bit easier to cope when it does happen. But at the same time, that doesn't always make it pleasant. It doesn't always mean we're going to enjoy it. I think that remembering that having these trials and tribulations has meaning behind it, and it means that we're going to come out stronger. It can help us to stay motivated when it is happening and to help us not get super worn out or super discouraged. One thing for me that really, that little story time for you guys right now, something that comes to mind is literally the entire amount of time that I was at my job at the music store, which I think you guys have heard me talk about many a times here on this channel. I was there for probably 6 months, and I know that doesn't sound like a very long time, but holy crow, it felt like years. Like, I've been at the job that I'm working at right now in the psychiatry office for much longer. Probably I've been there about almost 10 months, but that does not feel like it compares to the amount of time that I was at the music store, because it just, oh gosh. But the point that I'm trying to make is there were so many times while I was on shifts at the music store that I wanted to just put my 2 weeks in. I can literally, there are so many instances as far back as only 2 months into the job. I think only 1 month into the job, I was literally like, oh my gosh, I had a moment where I was like, I just want to put my 2 weeks in, right now. But something kept telling me to keep moving forward, to keep going, to keep pushing through. You know, my work there wasn't done yet. And after working there for the amount of time that I did, 6 months, I had a conversation about God with every single one of my coworkers. And it took the whole 6 months. You know, God's timing is perfect. And we need to remember that we don't see the whole picture, which again, I think I say a lot on this channel, but it's so important to remember that whenever we're going through something really hard, that we don't see the whole picture, that God is constantly working behind the scenes. He sees everything. You know, there was one time specifically, I was so excited because my my boss told me that we didn't have a certain cello in stock that someone wanted. And so she asked me to go drive an hour and a half away during my shift to another store to pick up this cello and then drive an hour and a half back. And I was elated because one, I wanted to leave. I was like, yay, an excuse to miss part of the shift. But then I was even more excited because she was like, okay, I don't want you going alone, because not she didn't trust me, but more so I think she wanted somebody with more experience doing that kind of stuff to go with me. And so she had one of my coworkers, Connor, go with me, whom I absolutely loved. He was someone who I got along with swimmingly. And so I was super excited. I was like, yes, road trip with Connor, let's go. So we get in the car. He ended up driving, which I was elated because I originally thought I was going to have to drive. And I drive a light blue minivan. And I was like, I literally call it the blue bus. I did not feel like driving the blue bus an hour and a half away. I was not about to do that. So I was very happy he was going to drive. And I was literally thinking, maybe we can talk about God during this time. Who knows? So we start driving for I want to say we didn't even get 20 minutes away from the store when our manager literally calls us and is like, hey, we actually have it in stock, or we actually did find one, or we were able to fix the one that we had. You guys can come back. And I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? I was so mad. I was like, wow, okay, this makes me so mad because one, I thought I was going to be able to talk to Connor about God. And two, now I have to go back to work. But what ended up happening was Connor was like, you know what? We're very close to my house right now. I have to pick something up anyway. So we're just going to go to my house really quick, pick that up, and then we'll go back, which is what we did. We ended up driving to Connor's house for 10 minutes just so he could pick something up, and then like driving back. And on the drive back, we did have a conversation about God. We actually talked a little bit about like the end times, which was really cool. And then when we came back to the store, I was talking to one of my other coworkers, and we actually ended up having a conversation about God also. So despite our road trip getting canceled, it led to not just one person, but two people hearing about God and the gospel. I think I really tried to give them the gospel. And these conversations, by the way, happened, I want to say like the 5th month that I was there, and I was only there for 6. Only 6. I love how I've been like, oh, it was 6, but it like 6 months, but it felt like 6 years. The point that I'm trying to make is that during those hardships and trials and, struggles, when I was here at this job, I was like, oh my gosh, God, like, this literally, I hate it here so much. Like, nothing is going right. Every shift, like, something bad happens. I kept going because God, I just genuinely felt like God still wanted me there. And I literally so many times was like, God, why do you still want me at this place? I don't want to be here. Clearly, there was a reason for that. God had a plan, not just to actually help out the store. Because that was another thing, they were extremely short-staffed. And I was like, okay, like, they do need my help here, just in regards to having another body on the floor. But also, mostly, more so to, be able to have those conversations with those people that I did. So I really hope this video helps whoever needed to hear this. If you are going through any trial or hardship, struggle, whatever it is, there is a reason for it. As we said before, suffering is unfortunately just kind of a part of life, but any trial or tribulation that we do encounter, there is a reason behind it. I do genuinely believe that. So if you guys ever have any comments, questions, or concerns, or if you ever need to reach me, don't ever hesitate to send me an email. Also, I have an Instagram for this channel where I kind of give updates, and also I'll post fun little Bible verses sometimes. That'll be down here. Also, if you have any prayer requests, let me know of those as well. And as always, have a lovely rest of your day, and God bless.